The impacts of severe tropical storm Christine and super typhoon Leon. The NDRRMC has recorded 150 deaths due to the onslaught of the two storms were recorded so far. President Bongbong Marcos also declared today as a national day of mourning to remember the victims of Christine. Here's a report.
The palace was declared today as a national day of mourning to remember the victims of severe tropical storm Christine. Under Proclamation number 728, President Bongbong Marcos called on Filipinos to observe today with solemnity and remember those who were affected by the storm. The flags at all government buildings will be flown at half-mast as a sign of mourning. This is also going to be observed today in Philippine embassies and consulates abroad. Based on the latest data of the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management or NDRRMC, 150 were reported dead due to the wrath of Christine and Super Typhoon Leon. 134 are injured while 20 are still missing. The cost of damage to infrastructure was pegged at 7.45 billion pesos, while the cost of damage to agriculture was estimated at around 5.91 billion pesos. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
Medyo madami-dami yung namatay, no? 150.
And usually, di ba, they don't use the names already kapag grabe yung devastation.
Yeah, actually,
dinala ng isang bagyo like Yolanda, Ondoy.
Ito, for context lang, no? I got a list kasi of the, yung mga storms na with the most number of deaths, no? You have Yolanda at number 1 with 6,300 fatalities. And you have, what's this? Uring. Typhoon Uring with 5,100 to 8,000 kasi unconfirmed daw. Then you have Pablo with 1,901. You have Angela. Oh, si Angela. 1,800. Madami pa yan.
Marami.
Ang problema kasi nito, yung si Christine is a combination po of agricultural damage, infrastructure damage na malalaki, plus yung loss to life na 150. When you combine all of that, malaki ang impact sa society nito. So
8 million, no? Individuals yung affected talaga nito.
Oo.
And in Batanes alone, yung pera na ibinigay ng government doon to help aid itong mga victims and of course the whole place, 8 million.
Yes, that's right.
Na, diba? And what more pa dun sa mga iba pang lugar na as you can see dun sa inyong TV screen, talagang nasalanta ng bagyong Christine at Leon.
This is how strong Christine was. Christine is in the top 10 history of the costliest Philippine typhoon. No? Costliest means computation of loss to life and money. To date, Typhoon Christine has 271 million US dollars in damage. That's malaki yan, or 13.4 billion pesos.
Totoo.
Malakas
so,
to.
ngayon, there are still areas na under state of calamity. Tapos may mga price freeze, diba? 60 days yung price freeze na yon. So, walang dapat mag-aabuso o mananamantala doon sa mga basic necessities ng ating mga kababayan pagdating sa pamimili doon. And of course, ano pa ba? Yung isa pang usapin pagdating nga sa bagyo, yung sinasabi nila na dapat daw mas gawing, mas maiintindihan ng publiko yung pagre-report o pagbibigay ng anunsyo ng pag-asa pagdating nga dito sa bagyo. Kasi yung Christine daw, hindi daw nila inaasahan na ganito pala kalala yung dadalhin niya na tubig ulan at saka ng hangin. Kasi saan ba yun, sa Cagayan ba o sa Albay, di ba? Parang yung isang ulan for 8 hours, 2 months of rain na yung dala ni Christine.
Yeah. Actually, that's not, I would say, it's not the fault of Pag-asa.
Hindi, wala namang fault, pero they're asking kung pwede.
The accountability of efficient dissemination of information lies with the LGU. Kasi Pag-asa throws out the reports, the LGU receives it. Paano i-disseminate ng LGU? But I understand most LGUs kasi where the places are affected, madaming communities sa far-flung, walang access sa internet, walang access sa kuryente, mga iba pa nga, wala pang access sa telephone. Transistor radio. So, ang problema kasi, ang main source of cheapest information ng LGU to disseminate this is on radio. Especially pag ang bagyo tumatama ng mga between midnight and 6 a.m., the only way the LGU has to broadcast this is on radio because usually matumal na ang nakikinig sa radyo, matumal na nanonood ng TV. Problema ay yung communities na affected, kung titignan mo, walang access sa internet.
Totoo.
So, how do we resolve this?
Tsaka, yun din, yung trabaho naman natin bilang media also, I think mas magawan natin din ng paraan. Let's say, for example, mas sabihin natin sila na, dapat pag ganito, naghahanda na kayo, umaalis na kayo. Ano ba yung mga dapat gawin ng public, no? Kasi pagka tapunan mo sila ng jargon, medyo clouded na di ba? Parang masyado ng maraming mga hindi maintindihan ng mga terminologies pagdating sa bagyo. Even nga yung Philippine Air Responsibility, naging issue yan, di ba? Naging sinasabi nila na kadalasan daw, akala nila pag Philippine Air Responsibility, nag-landfall na, which is hindi. Pag sinabing nasa Philippine Air Responsibility, dito pa lang, di ba? Nandito within our vicinity. Kumbaga, pag sinabing nag-landfall, dun pa lang tatama, di ba? Yung bagyo. Pero yun nga yung sinasabi nila na siguro mas maiging mabigyan din ng instruction kaagad, no? By us, sabihin nila, okay lang, maghanda na kayo, 'di ba? Siguro yung yung collaboration between LGU, Pag-asa and us, ayusin din natin.
Pero yung lahat ng sinasabi mo, very important dyan, but it all boils down at the end of the day, kung walang way of communicating this down to the public, kahit
yun nga,
napaka-efficient,
ibaba.
then it is useless. And if you take a look, ano ba yung problema at the root of all of this is in far-flung areas po. Number one, yung lupang kung saan nakatira itong mga naapektuhan, they don't own the lots. They are squatting in these lots. Walang connection sa tubig, walang connection sa kuryente.
Minsan nandun sila sa danger zone, no?
Danger zone. So how can you say na di ba, yung LGU may kasalanan or kung hindi naman nila maabot yung info. So at the end of the day, number one, it is zoning. Number two, it's giving them connectivity to the rest of the world.
Kaya nag-iisip ako, di ba, ano pa ba yung dapat gawin para mas makatulong tayo?
In place naman ng pagbibigay ng information. It's just that how do you send the information out in areas that don't have access to it? Like Metro Manila, okay naman, given naman yan kasi most of us, di ba, 3 ng umaga, tingin tayo ng tingin sa Facebook, tingin tayo sa Twitter.
Because we have the privilege, di ba, para meron tayong
So at the end of the day, it's all about giving people a decent place to live, decent way to communicate with the outside world. When you do that very basic principle of living standards, then you can say, okay, sino may kasalanan sa communication? Doon natin makikita ano kulang. But if we don't fix this, yung standard of living, we cannot point fingers and say,
every time magkakaroon ng bagyo, ganito na lang, magbibigay na lang tayo lagi ng ayuda. And even also, tsaka dapat ito na yung new norm natin. Alam naman natin, due to climate change, global warming, even in Spain. Di ba, you've seen yung nangyaring devastation doon sa Spain na to the point na binabato pa ng mga tao yung king dahil daw may kapabayaan. Hindi naman na sila bago doon sa mga flooding, pero kasi umiinit din talaga yung panahon, yung global warming doon sa Mediterranean Sea, kaya napakadaming bagyo, yung daming tubig, no, na nalasa doon sa
Actually,
sa
sabi
Spain.
ng ibang tao,
so ito na talaga yung new norm natin. Dapat naghahanda na tayo.
Dapat hindi daw tawagin yung normal. Dapat tawagin, this should be the norm.
The norm. Ito na talaga kasi mainit yung panahon natin due to climate change, as I've said kanina. And sabi ko nga, bata pa lang ako, ito na yung nakikita kong mga report sa TV, yung mga kababayan, kapag binabagyo, nasa classroom. And until now, wala tayong mga magagandang or maayos, di ba, or reliable, ang tawag doon, evacuation centers para sa ating mga kababayan.
Basta at the end of the day, it's all about giving the basics to every human being in this country. The basic right to have a decent home, the right to have sanitation, the connection to the outside world, di ba? Yung very basics lang naman yan.